Hello, Sean. This is Avi. I'm back again for our second day of reading. We're back in the book of Genesis. We're still in chapter 1, and we've already seen day 1. So guess what day we're going into now? That's right, the second day. Then God said, "Let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." Now here is very interesting. It's a little space between waters above and waters below. Well, everybody knows what waters below is. That's lakes and rivers and ponds and streams and things like that. What do you think the waters above is? If you go outside and look in the sky, is there any water up in the sky? Oh yes, those clouds. Those clouds are made up of water. So there's a separation of the waters from above and the waters below. And God made the expanse and separated the waters which were below the expanse from the waters which were above the expanse. And it was so. And God called the expanse heaven. And there's evening and there's morning, a second day. And God said, "Let the waters below the heavens be gathered into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. In other words, originally, seems like the earth was covered in nothing but water. And then God said, "Let's separate the water from the dry land." And God called the dry land earth. And he called, in the gathering of the waters, he called seas. And we say rivers or oceans and ponds and things like that. And God saw that it was good. Well, there's Genesis chapter 1, going into day 2. Let's see if we can finish this day 2 off. Then God said, "Let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit after their kind, with seed in them on the earth." And it was so. That pretty much means that an apple tree produces an apple. An orange tree produces an orange. An orange tree won't produce an apple, nor will a fruit tree produce strawberries, as much as Nana loves her strawberries. And the earth brought forth vegetation, plants, yielding seed after their kind, and trees bearing fruit with seed in them after their kind. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning, a third day. That is fascinating. I love reading this. I read this and then I go and read a little bit about science, because science is the whole field that discovers how God did this. Okay, back to the Hobbit. Like, you have your own Hobbit book, so let me give you a sec where you go off and grab it real quick, because we're going to start reading the Hobbit again. So here I am with my Hobbit book, just like you got a little one. And here we go. We left off with him, with Bilbo. We just got introduced to him. And let me see where we stopped. I have it marked here. Oh, we stopped when it was by the river. Now we're talking about Bilbo specifically. And let's see what we got here. Hobbit, Haya, Hobbit. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, look, I've got the Hebrew Hobbit. I should have the English one so you can understand me. Well, it had the same picture on it. That's what got me confused. Oh, well, let's go back to the English one. That would be the better for the two of us to read together. One day, maybe you'll learn Hebrew, and I'll teach it to you. Okay, here we go. This Hobbit was a very well-to-do Hobbit, and his name was Baggins. The Bagginses had lived in the neighborhood of the hill for time out of mind, and people considered them very respectable. Not only because most of them were rich, but also because they never had any adventures or did anything unexpected, and you can tell what a bag would say on any question without bothering to ask him. This is a story how a Baggins had an adventure and found himself doing and saying things altogether unexpected. He may have lost a neighbor's respect, but he gained, well, you will see whether he gained anything in the end. The mother of our particular Hobbit, what is a Hobbit? You never heard of a Hobbit before, have you? Not before reading this. I suppose hobbits need some description nowadays, since they have become rare and shy of the big folk, like you and me. Even you, Sean, are big folk, as they call us. They are, or were, a little people. Actually, they were the size you are now, so you're hobbit-sized. About half our height and smaller than the bearded dwarves. Hobbits have no beards. There's little or no magic about them, except the ordinary, everyday sort which helps them disappear quietly and quickly when large, stupid folk, like you and me, come blundering along, making a noise like elephants, which they can hear a mile off. They're inclined to be fat in the stomach. They like to eat. They dress in bright colors, chiefly green and yellow, wear no shoes because their feet grow natural leathery soles with thick, warm brown hair like stuff on their heads, which is curly. In other words, their feet were hairy, so they don't need shoes to keep their feet warm. They have long, clever brown fingers, good-natured faces like this one, and a laugh, deep, fruity laughs, especially after dinner, which they have twice a day when you can get it. Now you know enough to go on with. As I was saying, the mother of this hobbit, of Bilbo Baggins, that is, was the famous Belladonna Took, one of the three remarkable daughters of the Old Took, head of the hobbits who lived across the water, the small river that ran at the foot of the hill. It was often said, in other families, that long ago one of the Took ancestors must have taken a fairy wife, almost like he married an elf. That was, of course, absurd, but certainly there was still something not entirely hobbit-like about them, and once in a while members of the Took clan would go and have adventures. They discreetly disappeared, and the family hushed it up. But the fact remained that the Tooks were not as respectful as the Bagginses, though they were undoubtedly richer from their adventures. Okay, let's stop it there, and we'll pick it up next time. Have your book with you, and we'll read this along together, and have your Bible with you, too. I love you, Sean. Love your mommy, love your daddy, and I guess I love Zelda, too. Take care, buddy.